Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today what I have for you is a makeup tutorial, and what I did was this beautiful emerald green look with a gold inner corner. And I got this look primarily using the Urban Decay Shadow Box palette, and the green color we have here is called Indo, and the gold was called Baked Cowboy. And so that's the gold shade right there, and that's the green. Again, it's called Indo, and I really enjoy creating this look. Just kind of says holidays, and so I think what I want to do is kick off a holiday. I don't know, what do we call it? A series, a holiday series. And so I guess like every couple of days I will do a different eye or lip that really celebrates the holidays. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into my channel. I'd like to wish everybody a happy holiday season. Thank you again for watching. Please subscribe, rate, and comment. All products that I use will be below in the description box. And again, if you try this look out, please take a picture and tag me. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Snapchat. I don't really Snapchat a lot, but I do have one. But the best place to kind of tag me in it would be your Instagram, if you do try this look.
Hey, let's get started. First up, we have our eyes. I'm going to prime using that concealer from Iman. It's a pretty dry concealer. And I'm just patting that on. And I'm blending it out with my ring finger. Just blend, blend, blend. Next up is that NYX pencil in black. And I'm just creating a V on the outer corner of my eyes, just deepening up that crease. I like to do that just because the black shadow doesn't always give me the pigment that I want. So again, just another base. And just blending it out. It doesn't have to be neat and perfect, just so long as you create that V shape right there. And just blending the other side out. Pat, pat, pat. First up, using my transition shade, it's that beautiful fuchsia shade from the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm just putting that right above my crease. Just blending it in. Taking it from the outer corner to the inner corner with sweeping motions. Next up, I'm using the brown shade next to it, Cyprus Umber, from that same palette, and I'm going right into my crease with that Cyprus Umber. And I'm just darkening up my crease. You'll notice that I'm not taking it above the crease, I'm putting it right in the crease. Same motion, wiping back and forth. Little small circles. I'm going to go back to my original brush. Still has a little bit of that fuchsia color on it, and we're going to blend those two together. Next up, taking my flat brush, and we're going to use our green shade. It's called Indo, and that's from the Urban Decay Shadow Box palette. Going to wet that brush, wetting the brush so that the pigment really pops once I put it on my eyelids. And as you can see, it's depositing beautifully. I'm just patting, patting, patting. And you notice that I did not use a lot of that shadow. Wetting that brush really helps make the color stick and also makes it pop. And you just keep patting that on until you get it to the vibrancy that you desire. Always remember, ladies, you do not have to use these same shadows. Use whatever you have. If you have a lighter green, a darker green, if you have a different color, you can certainly do that. The first color that you put down doesn't have to be that fuchsia or reddish color that I used. If you're a lighter complected lady, you may want to use something in a peachier tone. Just use whatever works for your complexion and for the look that you desire. And as you see, I'm just still patting that on, and it's going on so smoothly. I'm going back with my brush that had the brown, the Cyprus Ember on it, and I'm just Cleaning that edge up a little bit, making sure that you can't tell where one starts and one begins. Using BlackOut. And I'm going to take that and put it right on the corner of my eye, right where I put that V with the NYX pencil. And you see how it's deepening up the crease. And I'm just placing that and slightly blending it as I place it. Little circular motions will give you a little more color deposit. Next step, I'm going to grab a clean brush. I like to use a clean brush whenever I use a black, and I'm just going to blend that out. And I'm just blending that right onto the corner of my eye and bringing it up slightly into the crease. Going back with my original brush, still had a little bit of that fuchsia on there, and I just want to make sure I still have that little pop of color there. Sometimes you lose it in the blending process. And there's our gold inner corner highlight. It's called Baked Cowboy. And I'm just popping that right into my inner tear duct. Little small motions. Don't worry if it doesn't match. We're going to use a liner and clean it up a little bit. I love a kohl pencil, so I'm going in and I'm lightly lining my lash lines with that kohl pencil. I kind of teared up a little bit. I'm doing my bottom lash line also. And we're not going too dark with that kohl pencil just because we're going to add a lash. I'm taking that same brush that I used on the outer corner of my eye, and I'm using that to smudge out the lash line. Grabbing a wipe, I'm going to clean up all that fallout on the sides of my eye and underneath. Spraying my face with a little moisturizer and pressing that right on in there, making sure the skin is nice and supple. Starting with a very light highlight that is Fawn from LA Girl. I typically don't use this, but for this look, I wanted a brighter highlight. And so that's why I reached for that. I know, it's very light. But don't worry, I'm going to blend it out and make it all work. I'm going to brush my brows. I'm not going to do a whole lot to my brows. I did fill them in a little teeny bit, but I didn't do a whole lot to them as far as like thickening them up, changing the shape, contouring them or anything like that, highlighting underneath the brow bone. Just kept a very natural brow for this look. Just brushing them, adding a little bit of a tail on that one. Just to frame the eye. Grab my beauty blender and I'm going to start blending that concealer out. And you just blend, blend, blend. And that is a damp beauty blender. Make sure you always wet your beauty blender. And again, I know it's light. We're going to fix it, ladies. Don't worry. And I'm just blending that right underneath my eye. And bringing it up. Using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in Mocha. That's the number 360. I'm sorry that was upside down. And I'm using a brush from Real Techniques. I'm using that brush as a stippling brush, but it's not really a stippling brush, but it works. So I'm just putting that foundation all over my face, blending it in. I love the way that brush blends in foundation. And I also didn't use a lot. I should have shown you, but it was on the back of my hand. I didn't want it to run. Grabbing my beauty blender, I'm going to blend that out further. Just making sure everything is nice and seamless. Get out of here, you stray hairs. Next up is my AJ Crimson Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm going to use that to set the places where I place that highlight. And don't worry, we're going to dust this powder off. This is just making sure that that highlight doesn't move around. It's going to stay put. Putting it on my forehead, down my nose, underneath my eyes, my cupid's bow, and my chin, all the places that I place that bright highlight shade. And I am using my damp beauty blender to apply that. Next up, I'm grabbing this brush from MAC. I love that brush. I think it's the 139 or 138. And I'm using that to dust off that translucent powder. I really like that brush. There's so many different things that you can do with that particular brush. And it's super soft. It's kind of tapered at the end, so you can get into the little corners. But it's great for like sweeping powders on and off. It just moves all over the face so seamlessly and so flawlessly. I'm just going to keep brushing. I'm grabbing my Fashion Fair powder in Sable, but first I'm going to moisturize my lips. They're a little dry. I haven't been drinking water like I'm supposed to. I know, I'm going to do better. So I'm taking that Sable and I'm using that kind of as a contour, and I'm just dusting that around the perimeter of my face. I'm also taking it around my nose, and because I don't have a lot on the brush, I'm kind of using it as a bronzer, and I'm using it very close to the places and right over in some cases where that highlight is. It's blending out that harsh line and also giving me kind of a bronze effect, bringing down that highlight some. Next up are our lashes. I'm using a Demi Wispie lash from Ardell. I'm waiting for the glue to dry. You know the little trick, you wait for the glue to dry, or get tacky, should I say. Alright, and I'm going to take my tweezer, and I'm getting so close to the mirror looking down. I'm going to pop that right onto my lash line. And just work that lash as close to my natural lash line as I possibly can. Don't be afraid to use your fingers. Make sure it's nice and secure on the outer and inner corner. Doing the same thing on the other side, popping that lash right on. I did use a white lash glue. I do like the Duo glue. It comes in like a darker gray shade. That glue that I used just happened to be the one that I picked up, but it does dry clear. Moving on to my lips, I'm using that NYX lip liner pencil in Club Hopper. I love that color. I love that lip liner. And that's all I'm going to use on my lips. That's why I made sure to moisturize very well, because I knew I wasn't going to use like a creamy lipstick or a lip gloss or anything. Just applying that, cleaning it up a little bit. I grab that brush again and I'm dusting. I'm going to use my MAC Skin Finish in Deep Dark. And I'm just going to dust that all over my face. I love that because it just kind of brings the look together. And of course I'm going to put a little highlight on my cheek. That highlight is from Lorac. Just to glow a little bit. And then I'm going to grab a finishing spray and spray my face. And that's it. I hope you ladies enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Happy holidays, ladies. Bye.